Hey, happy Saturday, gang. Hope everybody's Saturday is off to a great start. I got books I got in the mail. I got an A-OK that I've shared elsewhere, but I want to share with you all. I got my new books that I've been reading. There is so much comic book and regular book fun happening around here. I'm excited to share it all with you. I hope your weekend's off to a good start. The rain has finally stopped here. It was about a week of rain here, which means I know some of you are getting storms here in the next probably week. So hopefully that rain doesn't create havoc for all of you wherever you are in the country or elsewhere. Let's say hello to friends. We got Tony in the chat. First thumbs up. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you hitting the thumbs up. Good morning to you. Sharing life with two YouTubers. I got a book from her daughter, Rena, sitting right here that I have not officially opened yet. Good morning to you, Sharon. What is up, Las Cruces? I hope you're doing well in New Mexico. Hope that rain didn't hit you so hard as it hit us here in California. Big John, what's going on? He says he has a Saturday off. That's fantastic. Congrats to you, sir. I hope you can really enjoy it. What's going on next Saturday? Why wasn't I invited? What's going on? Like, where's the what's going on? Is there a convention up in your neck of the hood, John and Tony? I got to know about. Let me know. That sounds exciting. As many of you know, I've been reading a lot more of my new comic book day books digitally, so I can store things more easily and not have to worry about space, but I still want to enjoy the current stories that I'm enjoying. So I spent this morning, I woke up silly early like I usually do, and I was just reading digital comics for several hours this morning, having a good time. So I hope your Saturday was as good as my Saturday. That should be something that we all, I guess, aspire to, is a little good morning reading time on Saturday mornings. Scotch tasting. Oh, very, very nice. I'm excited. I hope that's going to be a live stream that we can all really enjoy. Snowing here. Sorry for all the rain there. I mean, thankfully, it didn't impact my area as badly as I know it did others. So I'm definitely looking at the positive side. It's not for everybody. I generally prefer bourbon, but I'm an equal opportunity alcoholic, so whatever's offered, I'm pretty open, friendly about those things. So Sharon, you're here, and well, Puff, good morning to you. Sean, I hope you're feeling better. I know you were not feeling so great last night, so I hope you're feeling better. Sharon is here, so I'm going to unbox this that I got from her daughter, Rena. For those that don't know, Rena Brown, if you search on Instagram or need help finding Rena Brown author on Instagram, it's Sharon's daughter, and she's been publishing all kinds of novels, fantasy, slight horror, but very entertaining young lady. And I love supporting awesome writers. So I've been buying her books, and I didn't realize there was a new volume in her Isle of the Dark series. And so I treated myself to a copy. So let's see here. But she said she was going to send me something else with it. So I got to double check. And there it is. It's right on top. Ooh, it's taped, but I'm going to gently take the tape off and set that one aside. So here it is. Truth at Sea. This is the third book in the Isle of the Dark series. And Rena Brown is the author. And I have read the first two. I have not read. She said I bought another book from her called Sinner, which I have not read yet. I think that is that the one I'm thinking of. I think I'm my brain this morning. But what Rena did send me was, she's continuing to edit. These are self-published books that Rena is doing, and she is continuing to edit this. So this is the newest version of the first novel. So now I don't want to brag. I have the first edition and the second edition, and I've got the rest of the series. So huge shout out to Rena, and she sent a little card. I want to make sure I open. Very kind of her, because she I went to her. You can go to her website, and I don't know if Sharon has the. I should give Sharon the power of the wrench in my chat, and she can drop that link. I gotta go to my own channel. Isn't that the worst? My channel. Yeesh. Nobody wants to be in there. No, Sharon already has a wrench. Look, I did it right. Rena's in the chat. There she. So this is the young woman I'm talking about right here. Good morning to you. Yes, they arrived fast. Sharon, if you want to drop the link for Rena's website, please do it in the chat. That would be very appreciated. Very much appreciated. That's probably the better way to say that. And you can go and check out her website, which has gotten a new, real nice overhaul. And you can read a little bit about the books that she's published. And if you're interested, you can buy them directly from her and not give any mega corporation all your money. Instead, you know that it goes to an author. So she sent me a thank you card. Ooh, and look, she even has business cards right there. And I know that my focus is not going to be enough to really pop that. But it includes her email, her website, her IG, which is Rena_Brown_author. But I can help you on Instagram. If you're looking to find Rena there, you can definitely ask me and I'll get you the right one. Because, there's scammers out there. You got to watch out. She says, thanks so much for all your support. I hope you enjoy the new aisle as well as the first book. Sorry, that's what it is. You now have the whole set so far. I hope you and the girls are doing well, Rena Brown. Oh, that's very nice of you, Rena. Thank you. And yes, they are doing well, although they are missing this show pretty regularly because they sleep in now as teenagers, or they're rushing off to soccer and volleyball and whatnot. So they tend to be pretty busy ladies. Gore Vidal is in the chat. He says, Sharon, it's been a while. Prince Charming sends his best. He's down here in Texas sharing the sun. I'm assuming that that's an animal, a pet of some sort. I'm going to assume cat, because I know Rena and Sharon are big cat fans. But good morning to you, Gore. I think I got an email from you this morning, but I have not gotten to my email yet today because I've been reading comic books. The joy of our existence, right? Books. So huge thank you to Rena for sending me her newest books. And feel free to drop that link anytime, as often as your mom wants to drop it. What is going on? My man, Rod the Rican, he dropped a video super early this morning at a short, I think, last weekend. If you're not catching up on Rod's content, he's got all the books he's been reading lately, and he's been catching up on that Energon universe, the Duke, and the Cobra Commander. So definitely worth your time there. If Rod's back, he's dropping content, so don't miss out. And Rod, you should have a link. Wrench, you can drop that link if you want to drop that, of course. Prince Charming is from Fables, since he's engaged her so much. But I didn't know if that was the name of a pet you had at your house. Some people name their pets after, comic book characters. JP Budget Collecting. I was 2 minutes late and he wasn't able to brag and complain about it because he was 9 minutes late. So there you go. Or 11 minutes late. What's going on? Ryan, he's singing the non-King Charlie show. Yeah. There's no bagels or beagles here this morning. That's the old school theme song. We may need to update the theme song, right? Gary B., another author in our YouTube community. So I've got his book in my Amazon cart, and I have not purchased it yet because it's been busy this week. I haven't gotten back to my Amazon cart because I probably need to buy other stuff, and I just haven't gotten around to it. But I've seen everybody talking about his book, spicy fantasy kind of book, where it looks like there's some demon thing going on there, like some kind of, Vampirella fans might want to make sure they're ready for it. But I'm hearing some very good things. So there it is. Sharon dropped the link to RenaBrownAuthor.com. If you want to go and support Rena or see her website, check it all out. It is right there. Rod the Rican's dropping the link too, but I meant the link for your show, Rod. If you want to drop the video link for the video you did this morning. Super Russ 9000. He is setting lofty goals for his YouTube channel to hit 9,000 subscribers. And he's got an epic idea for a giveaway if he gets there. So if you're not subscribed, you should check it out. Need is the new book that I was talking about from our man, Gary B. and it's like Nancy Drew on steroids, says Gore Vidal. So there you go. That's the review from Gore. Did I miss it? How was Ultimate Black Panther? I'm definitely going to get into that. And I'm definitely going to get into another book that I know that Mark and I have both been enjoying, which is Philip Kennedy Johnson's Incredible Hulk, hence the thumbnail for today's video. But those are both the big books I want to discuss this morning. Just want to say hello to the rest of the chat. We got Bearded Comic Bro, my lost brother, and we're trying to get together for a live stream, but that darn Fire Guy Ryan is just too much busy. No, thank you, Rena. I appreciate your hard work. And same with Gary B, all these great authors in our chat here. Much appreciated. Philly Phil, what is going on? Happy Saturday, although it's getting close to lunchtime in your area. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, let's talk about it. First up, I want to talk about Incredible Hulk real quick because I loved the 2 Ghost Rider issues that they did most recently. So I think it was December and January. These were great books, and I wanted to highlight his version of the Ghost Rider is wild and just so cool. This artwork right here, check this out. That is a spread page with Ghost Rider being this like former soldier, spirit of a World War II soldier on his World War II motorcycle, and he's throwing a hand grenade in the upper left corner up here by my logo. He's throwing a hand grenade and it's crossing the page and landing down here on Incredible Hulk. And the flames are 2 like demons that are like wrapping the Hulk up. It is so freaking cool. The artwork by Nick Klein is phenomenal. I know the Hulk books can be something of body horror grotesques, and Nick Klein is on board. He is just nailing this. But I loved the look of the Ghost Rider. I loved the way they used him in this story arc. Really just fantastic. Just blowing it away. And this spread page is just one of just several really great ones. And I just was like, wow, this guy, Nick. I mean, I know that Nick Klein can draw. I'm not claiming that I'm like, oh, Nick Klein is new to me, but that Ghost Rider look in particular, I thought was just phenomenal. There was one other picture that I had saved to my device here because I was like, oh, this was the monster in the issue. And you can see Ghost Rider and Hulk kind of tiny down in front of it. So cool. Nick Klein really, I mean, as much as I'm, can sing the praises of Philip Kennedy Johnson, the writer, and he's been doing great work across all companies these days, Nick Klein is, for me, the highlight of this particular book. And I just loved it. I just loved, the way he does the Hulk and then that Ghost Rider looking so cool. And then this beast, and the beast is saying, I will see the last of you. I will see the last of you dead, each at the other's hands. It is really cool. It's just cool. It's creepy and cool. There's a lot of weird monster stuff. So definitely worth the time for sure. Yeah, I love and Mark, you and I probably grew up on Hulk and Ghost Rider paired up, always entertaining, right? When they were part of the new Fantastic Four and those 3 issues together. You had Wolverine and you had who was the 4th one? Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Hulk. Was it Silver Surfer? It wasn't Silver Surfer, was it? That was but I mean that I always liked having Wolverine, Ghost Rider, and Hulk together. I legit can't remember the 4th person now. But lots of fun. Just really great artwork. So if you want something intense but in like a fun comic booky way, not like emotionally intense. Really, really great. Oh, there it is. See, Mark saying top 2. It was Spidey. I should have known. I should have known it was Spider-Man, right? You got to have that guy involved. Thank you, guys. Yeah. But for me, I didn't like Spidey as much as I liked the other 3. I was like, you don't need Spidey. I was fine with the other guys. Just give me the other guys. What is going on? Well, Boar, happy Saturday. Hope things are going well in your neck of the woods. So that was a great series that I was like 3 issues behind on. So this morning I was pumped and I read all the way up and caught up on my Incredible Hulk. And I'm glad I timed it that way because I could read the whole Ghost Rider storyline together. That really blew me away. Then I got to talk about This book, this is Ultimate Black Panther, which I know is like I hesitate to talk about it because it's like, yes, it's yeah, yes, this. Side quest, what's going on, Eric? Good morning, sir. I hesitate to talk about books like Ultimate Black Panther for this reason. They're like the hot hype book of the moment. Everybody's like, oh, everybody wants to, buy it, and they're paying $40 for a cover A, and it's I tend to like be the person that if it's like overhyped and everybody's talking about it, I read something else. Like I tend to be that guy. Um, and the only reason I read it was because I wanted to get a little grounding in this new Ultimate universe and have some understanding of what it's about. Even if I don't read all these titles or continue with any of these titles, I just wanted like a little bit of a grounding, right? I didn't love Ultimate Spider-Man, and I'll get to talking about that at length at some point. Um, but for me, I really enjoyed this Black Panther. I thought this was a lot of fun. I paid $4 for the cover A. It still felt wrong. Fair. I mean, fair. It's true. Marvel's got a lot of my money, so I get it. Good morning to you, JD from Raging Cajun Comics. I hope Saturday's doing well for you. So when it came to Ultimate Black Panther, I was like hesitant. I was like, hey, I like Brian Hill. He did Chariot, which is a really great indie book, and I'm trying to remember if it was AWA Upshot, I think, but it was basically a Christine and Knight Rider put it together, and that's the book. This woman dies and then inhabits the car, and her spirit is in the car, but she's trying to use the car to get like her vengeance on the people that did this to her. And she meets this young guy and is like, the two of us together can solve crimes and whatever. But it's a really fun, cool, creative book. And so Brian Hill is going to be writing this Black Panther series, and I was like, this sounds really interesting. Let's just check it out. And this is a more fast-paced book than Ultimate Spider-Man. It dives right into it. There's no like origin stuff for T'Challa. They're giving us a fully formed Wakanda. T'Challa is king. His dad is the man behind the throne. His whole family is there: mom, sister, everything. He's dating Okoye, or at least I guess married to Okoye. It seems like. I think they say that. Although they have separate beds, I'm not quite sure what that all is signifying. And then what we have is an invading force, and they call them the Khonshu, and the concept that there are these cultures outside of Wakanda that are invasive across the globe, and they're trying to invade Wakanda but being rebuffed, and T'Challa's got to decide, how to get information on who they are before he decides to have like an all-out war with them. So it's kind of a setup book for some of the political stuff, but there was some great twists that I thought were really cool. Not sure why, but I like Black Panther standing strong for his people, traditions, and values, not to modernize them. Just me. Yeah. I'm way out of the loop on new books. I didn't know they brought back the Ultimate Universe. I liked the Ultimate books back in the day, and they're basically that's what they're doing, is starting a new line of Ultimate books, not set in the original Ultimate Universe, but a new universe. However, the universe has been manipulated in some manner by Reed Richards from that Ultimates universe. The villainous maker version of Reed Richards has manipulated this new verse. So we've got a Spider-Man, we've got a Black Panther. I think there's a couple other books, and maybe Mark knows which ones are upcoming. I just sort of, whatever shows up is the one I read. So I'm just, whatever happens. I don't know. I'm not looking too far ahead. Married with a real I Love Lucy dynamic in the bedroom. I mean, I got that vibe, faux show. So let's take a look at some of the art. I screen grabbed a couple of things. I showed you this one first. So I actually got these a little out of order. The one I wanted was it this one? Yes. So here you can see King T'Challa and his family. I love the look of this. The throne room looks so cool. The big glass ceilings, the city, really just a great style for this place. The look was really kind of cool. And then what you get, I'm skipping around, sorry. when one of the outlying villages in Wakanda gets attacked, who comes to the rescue but Killmonger? And that's Killmonger in that sort of puma panther mask. And he's there and he's slinging this cool axe. And then he says this comment, which I thought was great. Something like, my love. Oh, see, I'm skipping around. Sorry, gang. He says, my love, make them pay. And then lightning comes down out of the sky, gang. And he's throwing his axe and it's like charging the axe. It's a very Thor kind of like moment. And the axe comes flying back to him. And of course, he's looking up to what he calls his wife, who he calls the Wind Rider. And she's like lighting up the sky. I'm all about that. Chet arrived just in time. Yes. So it does seem like Storm will be a player in this Black Panther universe, that she's either married to or closely connected to Killmonger, and that they might be a rival for the throne of Wakanda in some manner. But they're the ones willing to protect the citizens while T'Challa is trying to not launch his country into war. So how that all, like what that all leads to as far as conflict between Killmonger and Black Panther, I'm excited to see that. But the implications, really big, really exciting. I really didn't spoil a ton of it. I think there's a lot of this book that I held back on that you can get into. And ultimately they don't show you Storm or anything like that. It's very much in shadow and stuff. But it was very entertaining. I liked it a lot more than Ultimate Spider-Man. I know I was harsh on Ultimate Spider-Man. I just didn't care for the way they did that first issue. This was a far stronger first issue for me. And if Ultimate X-Men is next, then I'll definitely read that. But I'm gonna stick to digital reading on these. I'm not gonna store the copies or do any of that stuff. That might be something I do later on. But for me, it was the read of the week. A really, really strong book and very entertaining. So I recommend it. Obviously, it's also become the hot book of the week. Apparently, there was an issue with sales with books being lost, something. So orders got shorted in certain regions, and copies were scarce. And I think after what happened with Ultimate Spider-Man, people wanted it more. The only copy on my shelf when I went into my shop on Thursday was one of the ratio variants, and they wanted $40 for that ratio. It was like a 1 in 10 or 1 in 25. I wasn't buying anyways, but I was just curious to see how many were still there, so I passed. But I don't think any of these books are going to be worth more than cover price in a year. So if you're desperate to have Ultimate Spider-Man 1 or Ultimate Black Panther 1, just wait a year. Wait a year, read it digitally, chill. You'll get the book at a great price in a year. That's my 2 cents for whatever it's worth. What else did I read? I got the actual, books that I bought. Maybe I should do that. Duh, John. What are you doing, man? So I got the Attractive Woman covers. Shocker. Eric says, my shop got most of their stock damaged. Ooh, sorry to hear that. Hopefully they get some of that replaced. I know there's a second print coming along for that book too. I'm waiting to see your review of Black Panther before I buy it. I will take a second print. So yeah, I just did that, Terry. And my review is it's a huge thumbs up. I was really entertained by it. Go for that second print. If you can get it at cover price, don't overpay. Digital copies are already down to cover price. Fair. Or just wait a few months on the Marvel app and it'll be there for free. Or not for free because you're paying for the app, but you know what I mean. Speculators at my shop said future Marvel films will be based on the Ultimate Universe, so every book is a first appearance. Couldn't reason with them. You can't reason with most people. X-Men comes out soon. It'll be huge. There you go. So Poison Ivy, I got 2 covers for that. I've been really enjoying this series. And this was a twisted flashback to the early days of Pamela. And I loved this kind of half foil variant. Probably not going to come out. Well, that is pretty cool looking. The idea is we see Pamela when she was in college. studying science and studying botany, and Woodrue, the villainous doctor from Swamp Thing fan. Oh, sorry, not Swamp Thing. Man Thing. Oh, so yeah, Swamp Thing. People will know him as a villain character. He comes in a big way, and several Swamp Thing adjacent characters as well come in and are in the same lab working at that time. So this is a flashback storyline. We're getting some backstory to better understand her and Pamela, and some of the things that went wrong in her life that forced her down the road of crime, where we ended up meeting her in Batman comics. So I thought this was a very interesting issue, very entertaining issue, and always great covers in this series. So loved it, very entertained by it. So I only bought 3 comics this week. That was 2 of them. The other one I bought was Birds of Prey, which is almost always my read of the week. I love Birds of Prey, and I know my man Marcus will like this cover. What is up, Marcus? This is the Villalobos cover. You got the whole Birds of Prey clan hot tubbing in the snow in the mountains. And this is let's be honest, I took me a while to notice there were 4 other ladies in this cover. This is a big Barda cover, and I am a big fan of Big Barda. She is a badass. And so whether you're an old Kirby fan and you love the Mr. Miracle run when Kirby first introduced her, or whether you're a more recent fan of her stuff, with the Tom King, Mr. Miracle, whatever, Barda is cool, man. And this series has done a lot of great stuff with her character battle. When she battled Wonder Woman and Themyscira, so cool. Just some really great battle sequences. And I love the interior artist. The artist doing the interior art is really, really strong. And I've loved the sort of cartoony style, and I can show you some of it actually if you want to see some of that interior artwork. Chet likes her. Sharon's laughing at me, as she should. Let's see. Love that John and I are both kind of obsessed with women. I mean, yes. Yes. What's up, Perry? I was on. So Perry, last night, Perry and I were joining Jig's Kingdom, and I've joined him a couple of nights this week. Jigs is just a really great guy. And I jokingly said, as I was leaving the show at 10:30 last night, my time, I was like, you guys are probably going to be up all night. And they're like, yeah. And I went to bed. And when I woke up, it was like, I woke up before 5 a.m. I woke up weirdly early today. They were still going. Dr. Venkman was on with them, and Craig was still on there. And I jumped in the chat and just listened to the end of the show, but they were still going this morning. Those guys, they can rock. All right, so here's the artwork. Artist is Leonardo Romero. I just love his style. I'm trying to not hit the microphone here. There you go. It's a very cartoon kind of style. It reminds me of like Batman the Animated Series or something like this. It has just an old school look to it, and they're not trying to go for that Jim Lee realism, lots of line work stuff. I think they're definitely going a different direction, which I like. I don't need every comic to look the same, right? I like when a comic suits its story with the way that it's drawn. So I thought this was a really fun look to this universe. This is the final story in the first story arc. The story arc lasted 6 issues now, and they're starting the next storyline. Really, really cool. I love Big Barda is like a good foot taller than everybody, even Wonder Woman. I love it. Wonder Woman has to respect some of that Barda, although Barda respects Wonder Woman in a big way through this story. It's kind of cool. But yeah, really, really good comic. I'm really enjoying it. What's up, Comic Verse? Good morning. Happy Saturday to you. Yeah, 9 hours. Jigs is a beast. I don't even know, like, and then he was heading out to get pancakes this morning. He was like, I'm going to IHOP. I was like, okay. Stayed up all night and then rolled out to go to IHOP. So shout out to you, Jigs Kingdom. I got a package in the mail that I opened on Jig's channel, and I'm going to share it with you guys now. It came from my man, Unruly Simeon. Apparently, this son of a gun, AOK King, Cruised through MegaCon and bought stuff for me while he was at MegaCon. He was like, he and I have some love for some of the same artists and creators, and when he would hit their booths, he would be like, "What do you got?" So he cruised by Jim Shooter's booth, got a signed book with a COA from the Jim Shooter booth. He knows I am a Jim Shooter fan, and he got me a Secret Wars 2 Magneto cover. Love the Magneto cover. Signed by the man, the writer himself. Unruly Simeon, you are a bad A. Thank you so much for that. But that's not all. But wait, there's more. He cruised by Art Adams' booth. Let me turn it that way. Got a signed COA, sealed Art Adams book. He knows I like Art Adams. He got me this amazing variant with, look at that, all that Phoenix goodness on there. So bad. This is Marvel Legacy #1, the C cover. Got your Nightcrawler, got your Wolverine, and got your Phoenix, and then got your corner box art and that red signature. You even got the like Phoenix creature up above her in the fire there. So cool. Art Adams, really awesome. And he's been doing a bunch of great variants lately, so super pumped on that. And then lastly, folks, he got me a 9/8 slab of X-Men issue 18 from one of my favorite variant artists. And I believe I have the trade dress version of this where it has the logo on the front, but I don't have the Virgin variant, and that is right here. Come on, man. Come on, man. Unruly Simeon dropping the hammer on me. This is a gorgeous cover. And so now I gotta throw my setup later and see what it looks like with the trade dress one next to it, because that's pretty. And I got some of my Storm covers backing me up here, tucked in and around me, so I can add this one to the list. So Lane, Unruly Simeon, Above and Beyond. Yes, I didn't even know he was cruising the con floor grabbing stuff for me. I was super jealous. I wanted to be there. I was there last year and couldn't afford to fly out. Yes, ultimately, I have to say, like, flying to go to a comic convention is an extreme luxury, and I've been lucky enough to do it 2 times, but it's not something I can afford to do very often. So I'll try to save up and do it again. Hopefully, maybe next year, 2025, I'll be able to do it again. And then I'll continue to kind of do my local cons here. WonderCon in Anaheim is coming up in about a month. And then I occasionally go down to San Diego Comic-Con if I want to fight the crowds, maybe on a Sunday or a Friday or something. So those were the ones that I got from Lane, along with a really nice note. So thank you, Lane. I appreciate you doing that, sir. And then lastly, it's good that Chet's in the chat. I don't want to say occasionally because it happens often. Chet sends me a link into he's like, have you seen this variant cover of Storm? Have you seen this variant of Storm? Have you seen this cover? And I'm usually good about being like, yeah, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And then he sent this one, Extreme X-Men issue 1. This is I'm not sure what the ratio of this one was, at 1/10 or 1/25. He was like, look at this. And he's like, it's for sale on eBay. He's like, it's like $5. And I just purchased it. I had zero strength of will to stop. And I just was like, click, buy, send. And it's here. I've already got it, Chet. It's a design variant, obviously. La Roca design variant. So you can see the costume from all angles, without the cloak, with different hairstyles, with the lightning storm in her hand. So I was like, yes, I don't have this variant. It's a 1/10. Let's do it. $5. I'll take it. Add it to the collection. There we go. So his arrives Monday. He bought one too. We're clearly on the same wavelength there, doing it right. So those were my purchases for the last week. John, Bastion of Willpower, except when it comes to Storm or Ivy covers. This feels fair. This feels accurate. See, I didn't buy 2 JP at least. I was willpowered enough to only buy 1, so I did okay on that one. So other than that, I'm going to run through the other stuff I've been reading. One to sign and one to grade. I figured you would probably pick the better one to slab because I know that you want that. You want to get that 9.8, baby. Get that 9.8. What else did I read? I'm up on X-Men now. I read Dead X-Men digitally. I would not give it the highest of recommendations. Chet probably is reading X-Men 30 and 31, the last 2 regular titled issues of X-Men. Some huge things happened to a female character that I like a ton from the Krakoa era, and it makes me very sad. I don't know how to like not spoil it if I get into it, but they seem to imply the permanent death of a character that I really liked from this era. There it is. So he has read it. A character that I really like. I even had a commissioned piece of original art made of this character because I thought she was cool. Sad. Yeah. So there's a character that's a spin-off of X-23, Laura Kinney, called Talon, an older, basically like an aged version of Laura Kinney. And it does seem like they've killed her off. It was really well handled. I thought there was some nice weight to it, even if some of it happened off page, like we didn't see it. What we did see was given a little bit of weight, and the moment between Sync and Talon was really handled beautifully, where he's kind of dealing with the weight of it. That doesn't mean there's no X-23 because we still have the younger one. But I like Talon, if possible, better, just for the way they used her in this era. So I was kind of sad about that. So you can, and if you want, JP, I can create a reading order for you. If you've got the Marvel app and just want to read the important issues with her, you can. And who knows? It's comics. I mean, she could come back next week for all I know. I'm an idiot. So it's easy to bring her back in whenever they choose, right? But from what I gathered, it seemed pretty definitive the way it was handled. That was there's one other X-Men book. Chris Claremont is writing another X-Men book, and I felt obligated to read it. What is up, Kevin? He was on Jig's show last night with me that went all night. I hope you're doing all right this morning, Kev. So Chris Claremont wrote a really great issue of Uncanny X-Men. I think it was 268. It was all this like interconnected flashback storylines involving the city of Madripoor and crime and ninjas, and it starred Wolverine as the main mutant, but Psylocke and Jubilee were in there a little bit too. Captain America played a really big part all the way through it, really cool, and of course Natasha, Black Widow, played a big part in it. It was a great like one-off. It had a few loose strands left aside, but apparently he's doing a mini series now that's gonna like fill in the gaps and answer some questions on that storyline. It's like something like X-Men Madripoor or Knights in Madripoor or something like that. So I read issue 1. It was all right. It suffers from all those issues, the same problems that great writers going back and telling stories from the past suffer from. It's all based on like nostalgia juice, and if it's not strong enough for you the way it's being done, it's not going to matter much. It's not going to carry enough weight. So I would say pass on it personally if you're not a huge fan going in. If you're crazy for that issue like I am, you might get a little joy out of it. The other book I read was Sacrificers, which is Rick Remender's current fantasy series where he's got this whole wild universe with sun and moon gods and bird people, and it's really wild, really cool. And the first story arc is done, 6 issues, and there's a little break, and I think he's coming back in something like April, May. So really, really a good book. There it is. Taylor Winder jumps in the chat and he's already like, yeah, it is pretty darn good. Sacrificers has been entertaining. I'm a Remender fan anyways, so whatever he's doing, I try to catch it and read it. So I've read this one almost all digitally. I haven't. I'll buy it if they do a hardcover. I'm sure they will. It's an Image title. I'll buy it and read it. But that's the only big indie that I think I read this week. I was catching up a lot on my DC Marvel kind of stuff. So this guy, I'm surprised you're not sleeping right now, man. I was on with Jigs and Craig last night. I went to bed. I woke up. Craig is still rocking around. In fact, you had more juice in the morning than those other guys. Those other guys were fading fast. And then there's Craig. He's just like, go, go, go. And then I went back to, I legit read for a couple hours and then went back to sleep and then woke up again and then did this show. You're on another level, man. You're on another level, sir. How was it, Chet? I skipped it because it looked like was it Fabian Nicieza coming back? I don't want another 90s book. So for me, I'm just kind of like, and it doesn't seem like it's going to necessarily tie in to what they're doing now. So let me know. If you read it, I'll add it to my digital read list and I'll check it out. Stu, good morning to you. How are you doing, my man? Really good read from Chet. Okay, I'll add it to my list. I'm also going to catch up on Void Rivals, which people have been telling me to read for a while now. That is the series of by Kirkman from Image that sort of launched this interconnected Transformers G.I. Joe universe. I don't know why I'm reading it other than I just want to be able to, contribute to the conversation around these books. I've read all the Transformers books, all the Duke and Cobra Commander miniseries books. I'm not reading the current Larry Hama G.I. Joe, which I don't think is tied in, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong. The only one I missed was Void Rivals. So I've got to read that six issue series. Sharon is leaving. Goodbye, Sharon. If you want to drop the link one more time for Rena, feel free to throw that link back into the chat and happy to have it. Chet says he bought Void Rivals and hasn't read it. Stu loves the Void Rivals. There it is. I have not loved the Energon universe, so I'm kind of dragging my feet on reading Void Rivals digitally. There it is. As I mentioned, I'm a fanboy for the Isle of the Dark series from my friend Rena Brown, and she is a young author. She is writing her books and publishing and got her own website. And if you want to contribute to an up-and-coming young author and you like fantasy novels, that's the gal you want to be following, and that's the gal you want to be subscribing to. And if you go to her website, you can read about her books. You can purchase the first book in the series and check it out, or get yourself a little 3-pack and enjoy a bunch of good reading. So worth your time. I am giving it this John Comics, although it's not a comic, stamp of approval. And there's the website. Thank you for dropping that, Rena. So for me, like, I grew up with Transformers and G.I. Joe, and I loved it. The cartoons, the movies, the comics, I did all of it, the toys, probably the bed sheets and the pajamas as well. And the only one that I think holds up is the G.I. Joe comic. The original G.I. Joe comic was strong, and I think it's still fairly strong, the original run from when it was on Marvel. And of the new Energon books, the only one that I love is Duke. I thought the 2 issues so far for Duke have been really good. The Cobra Commander book I thought was a little just kind of flat. It was kind of, it was just kind of there. The Transformers books from Daniel Warren Johnson have been entertaining, not emotionally investing, and not like big idea. They're just popcorn, and they're good popcorn. Like Fast and the Furious or something, but I don't necessarily have the same love and passion for them that most of our community seems to have them as their favorite books each month. And I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. It just wasn't hitting me the same way it was hitting everybody else, but I wanted to keep up with it. So I'm reading all of those books. The one I missed somehow was the Void Rivals launch series. So I kind of got to go back to that at some point. Let's see. So JP says, might be fantastic, but not enough to bring me in. I did too, but don't hold any nostalgia for me. Not sure why. That's fair. Taylor says they're all better than the mediocre Thundercats reboot that just came out. Fair. Have a blast. Where's Chet going? Oh, he's seeing Seven Dust tonight. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's a band. Hope it's a good show. Hope you enjoy it tonight. Yeah, so that's where I've got the Void Rival 6-issue miniseries next in my digital queue that I'll probably try to power through that this morning when I get my coffee, because I haven't even had my coffee yet. I'm just drinking water so far. But that's it, folks. That is my reading. Those are my books. Those are my purchases. That's what's adding into the collection. I'm considering, and my friend Jennifer from Comics Will Break Your Heart is still a good ways away from meeting her goal for her medical bills. She is battling cancer. She had to go back into the hospital for a little bit recently, and the community has been great about rallying to try to help her pay those bills. I know that JP's been dropping that link for her a bunch, and Ken, feel free in this chat to do that. And I know that Bueller, Comics with Bueller, has been using part of the money from his weekly auctions on his channel to help her with that as well. I think she's nearing the only has like 4,000 left to pay off her medical bills, which is amazing. I may copy Unruly Simeon's technique, and he put together a few mystery boxes and basically just was like, look, buy the mystery boxes from me. I'll ship them to you, and the money will go to Sharon. To Jennifer. So I might do something similar. I got to go through my collection and cull stuff anyway. So if I can put together boxes that I think are worth it for members of the community, and enough of them that I could create a substantial amount for Jen, I might put something like that together. So that might be part of my weekend, just to purge some books and help Jen. So I might be doing that this weekend to see what I can put together. But that's Jennifer's GoFundMe. You can just go to GoFundMe and search Keep Jen Reading. If you just want to go to GoFundMe and do Keep Jen with one N Reading, you'll see Jennifer, and it'll talk about comic community, and you can see where she's at in her total, which I think was right around 4,000 more. And so, yeah, medical bills in this country are insane, and anything you can do to help is obviously hugely appreciated. That G.I. Joe run by Hama was special. That silent issue was next level. So I used to own not quite half of that run. Now I only own 3 issues. I have the first, the last, and the silent. Those are the 3 that I've got still. Eric says I was hesitant on Void, but ended up enjoying it. Deep cuts for the fans and a good story with nice art. Nice. I'm happy to hear that. Thundercats is a great cover with over 120 variants. Whoa. That's Marvel level. That's new Spider-Man launch level. Yikes. So yeah, that's my weekend. I got a soccer game this afternoon for Charlie, and Kate has her winter formal dance tonight. Should have mentioned that. So she's going to a dance party. She got her dress. The theme is James Bond, and she's got this, sleek black dress thing going. She's like a Bond villainess. So I don't even know how to deal with that, but I'm going to deal with that. And then, she's a sophomore, so it's good that she's going out and doing these things and has friends to go with to keep her safe. That is my Saturday, and I'm hoping to enjoy it if I can keep the heart palpitations down. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll be in and out of YouTube chats and maybe joining on late night live stream if somebody's just hanging out late tonight and wants company. Let me know. Other than that, gang, I appreciate all of you coming by and chatting funny books with me. I hope that I'll catch you guys again soon and give you some reviews on some of these books I bought. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody.